So Russell, we have some strong locks.
Yes.
We have some new locks, and we've got no locks.
No locks.
Okay.
All right.
You got to tell me what's going on here.
Okay, so we have been working on this particular design for about 3 years. It's been a bit of a battle because we wanted to make our own proprietary lock. It's been a bit of a challenge, but we are finally nailing it down. And this year we still name pending on this model, but the 1822 has been worked on for almost as long as I've been working for the company, and we finally got the lock right. So this one is, well, you see this bar right here?
Okay.
You can pull down on that, closes the knife. But press down on the lever right here, also closes the knife.
Nice,
One finger closes the knife.
So the lock is actually near the flipper tab.
Yes.
Towards the top of the spine.
The flipper tab actually goes through the lock.
Oh. Okay, so let's try this one more time. Maybe I just twist around. Okay,
Yep, just hit it.
It's right there, and then you just kind of hold it using like the jimping that's on here.
Yep.
And
Pull it down.
Boom.
Pull down. And there we go.
Very nice. This is like,
Yeah.
this is sweet.
On top of that, we made sure to make the flipper tab a little bit oversized, so if you actually happen to pull down on the top of you can drop it straight down and then close. Whoops. Close manually.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And if you notice, if you just hit it, there's a bias right here, so you can't just drop the knife straight on you, but if you hold it down all the way, you can keep it free floating.
That is awesome.
Isn't it great? On top of that, we've also made a similar lock with CJRB. Kind of we changed up the external design, so it's actually a steel version of it instead of a titanium one. Same concept though. Drop on the finger, close. Use like a 2-finger, close. 1 finger, close. Finger on the top, close, etc. And with the CJRBs, they should hopefully still be retailing under $60. So you're getting this premium lock we've been working on for a long time with all, like, at an absolutely reasonable price. You get the newest technology we're offering. We call it lock technology, I guess, but it's really cool. It's a really slick design, and we wanted to showcase what we could do as a company. We're not trying to just make more titanium flipper knives. We want something a little, you know, as I say with the titanium flipper knife, but it's something different. It's something new. And making a new lock is surprisingly difficult because we had to go and check everything to make sure we were, you know, on level and not copying anyone.
Well, the truth is, it's not even just that it's a new lock. It's an ambidextrous lock.
Yes.
And that's something that's lacking a lot in the industry. You see a lot of really high quality designers. They come out with amazing designs, not to take away from their designs, but you get a lot of people asking, you know, with feedback saying, hey, what about for lefties? What's going on? So whether you're a lefty or a righty, you can pick up this knife from CJRB or, you know, from the Artisan brand, and you can switch the clip. They have the deep carry clip right here on the right side. You can switch it to the left, and then you can actuate the flipper. You can actually use this lock in the back, and no matter whether you're left-handed or right-handed or ambidextrous, this is a knife that is potentially for you with one of their new prototype locks. I think that this is a really, you know, forward-thinking design.
It's really slick.
It's not easy to come up with something like this and be like, wow, this is going to be the new forefront. And
It took some time.
I think it's going to happen. I think that this is going to be, I think that this is really going to be something.
I'm really excited for this one. I'm really excited to just hit the market and see how this goes. I hope people love it because it's just so damn unique. I mean, it's like the action is familiar to people. Like the way that you're opening and closing the knife is familiar. But the way this is done, especially with this one where it's a pass-through with a flipper, like, that's so cool. The fact that you can actually do this from the top is so different.
Now,
there we go, that's
maybe you had touched on this before. Who was responsible for the design on this?
That would be the CEO of the company.
So the CEO of Artisan Cutlery was the one that designed this?
Yes, he is.
Wow, okay. Not bad. I got to tip my hat off to him. Okay.
The boss is a knife guy. He is a knife maker. He's a knife designer. That's why he started this company, because he wanted to showcase his stuff.
So, aside from the lock, this design is this design available as, say, like a liner lock?
That is not at this point. That one is just with the new lock. But maybe in the future, we'll see how people like the shape, and if it becomes a popular model because of the shape and because of the styling, maybe we'll look into making it a liner lock.
Okay, Russ. We talked about strong locks. Talked about new locks. Show me the no locks.
And now we're doing the no locks. All right, so we have 3 prototypes that we're kind of testing the waters on. This is something that's new to us. So first one I want to do, because everyone loves the Archeo, everyone loves the Centros. We talked to Mallery about doing our first true slip joint. So this is one, no clip. We're possibly gonna do a slip with this guy, but it is meant to be just super light, super fine, as of course with everything Dylan does, very stabby. But that profile is just so nice in hand. It's comfortable. It's got a great, just like thin blade. And I'm really happy with the way the walk and talk is on this guy. It's got a nice, like a soft one, firm two. On the open, nice and soft, firm click on the full open. You know, I'm not really, personally, I'm not much of a slip joint guy. But I feel that if I was going to carry something like this would be a very comfortable knife in pocket. Just drop it in the pocket, carry it, use it, close it up, it's all good. And especially with the G10 scales, and since we kept everything so thin, this thing just weighs almost nothing. Just here, it weighs nothing.
So to kind of touch up on what you had mentioned about the slip joints, I kind of feel like 2019 was a big year for slip joints.
It was.
You started to see a lot of makers come out of their own, even with people that weren't making traditional two-handed knives. They were starting to come out with something like, you know, the slip joint. Even Laconico,
yeah,
he actually came out with a similar one, but it was on bearings. And I like this one. This is a nice double, detent slip joint, and it keeps it nice and light. Seeing as how you don't have the liners inside, you don't need it for something like this. This is something that's meant to take out, use, sparingly. It's a very nice grind on it, nice and slicey. I mean, you got the nail nick to be able to go ahead and pull it out, but you don't really even need the nail nick. I mean, I got pretty chubby fingers, and you can actually see me just kind of take it out and use it.
It's a nice touch.
Yeah.
But the clearance on it's really good, because that way, yeah, you can just pinch and pull, and it's not really a problem. And with the way that scale is cut, that was actually part of the design. We feel that the nail nick adds a bit more of that classic aesthetic to it as well. We'll see if we want to keep it or if we want to remove it. But it just is so nice, and just the way it opens, and it's hard to make a slip joint that looks good, that isn't a super traditional slip joint. And I think Dylan got it right on this one. Like, it does not look traditional, but it feels good, it looks good, it feels classy too.
I agree.
This would not be out of place, as a gentleman's knife. Like, very clearly, just drop it in a suit pocket, drop it in a pants pocket, back pocket it. It's great, and hopefully we'll be doing this in some other variants. We have a couple other colors of this one, but right now Dylan's walking around the show with the jade version of this guy, is showing it off. It's like, thanks, Dylan.
All right,
great time.
Well, okay, I would be remiss if I didn't mention this, because this is something that I just noticed on this particular knife. Now, I know you're probably not going to be doing this on every knife, but I did notice there was a change in steel.
Yes, there is.
Okay, let's talk about that.
So this one, we're trying out a bit of 14C28N. So we're trying it out. There has been an outcry from people wanting 14C28N, some of the Sandvik, some of the more stainless steels. We prefer our G2 for a lot of our knives. However, there is always room for change, and if the public wants something that's a little bit different, we can see about doing it. I can't guarantee we're going to keep it with that, but we are going to try, and we're going to see if it works. And if it does, and people are happy with it, and people like the performance of it, we might switch up some of our other knives to it. So we shall see. But it's the first time we're doing it, and I think it suits this knife very well.
I think Sandvik steel is a steel that's slept on quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it would be pretty interesting to see what the feedback is on this particular knife, and possibly future knives, depending on how much stock you guys are able to get and put into what is, I mean, typically Chinese D2 dominated steel market for the value knives. I mean the D2 is still good. We're very proud of our D2 because we're able to get that high heat treat. We're able to get those 60 HRCs out of it. But some people are concerned about rust. Some people are concerned about D2 that is a bit more chippy. Some people want a steel that's easier to sharpen. And for those people, this might be a better option. So we're going to see how it works in the market. And maybe the final release of this knife will be with the Sandvik. And maybe we'll switch back to D2. Maybe we might just do S35. But we want to see how people react. So far, the reaction has been exceptional. People are very happy to see it. But things remain to be seen. It's a prototype after all. Anyway, so first non-locking knife. These two are very much very prototypey. We're just trying this out. So why don't you handle that guy? You do something. Okay, all right. Oh, he told me to do it. Okay, so
that's the Cutlass. We produced that model last year. We actually have not done a G10 version of it, but there's something a little different about this guy. So, if I can grab that guy from you.
By all means.
If you take a look on the inside, there is no lock. Nothing in there. So, nice, smooth action on bearings with a double ball detent. Also, in particular, we wanted this one because it has the big choil. So this makes it a much more practical knife that is non-locking. This is kind of potentially focused towards the European market, the Asian market, and since this style of knife has actually been a bit more popular in the US as of last year, we're considering just taking this to the US market as well. But it's pretty slick because it's got a great fidget factor to it, like just so snappy. So fun.
That's so awesome.
Isn't it? And of course, we had to do the Archeo. The boss loves it. We love it. It's a great seller for us. And really, this one actually, if you notice, is a tiny bit smaller than the original Archeo. Just a tiny bit. And this one we actually did in Damascus. So it's pretty classy, even though it's got G10 scales, but we did put a titanium backspacer in there as well as a titanium clip. So it's kind of a merging of the two worlds. It's got some class, it's got that, you know, everyday kind of easy wear G10. The Damascus is a nice touch. It's just something really different. Oh, and one more thing I forgot to add. This little lanyard right here.
I've been dying to ask about that hole on the other side of the knife, so talk about that.
This pin just snaps right in there, pops right on the other side, and locks the blade open, or in this case you can lock it closed as well. Pop it in, lock shut, like a bolt. It's not going anywhere. The pin isn't gonna just like, it'll just pop out with a bit of work, but as long as it's in your pocket, clip or not, you're pretty secure.
Oh, so it won't open as long as the pin is in there, and it won't close as long as the pin is in there.
Exactly, so that's a good way. If you are carrying this in a European country, if you are carrying this where you are, we'll say locking knife restricted, this is not a locking knife right now. This does not have a lock on it. This pin does not have to be kept on the knife. This pin can be somewhere else. If you need it for harder work, if you expect you're going to be in a situation where maybe there will be some torque, maybe you might be concerned about the lock failing, pop the pin in, and you have an extra level of safety. A la proponent, like similar, even though this one is actually it actually has a snap action instead of the screw-in action. We figured this is something our consumers, it's another bonus feature to something that is already good, but without a lot of extra, you know, we're not changing the profile of it, we're not really mucking with the ergos. We can add something that is beneficial. And it's a cool touch because it doesn't, you know, it's just something that's so useful.
It's very nice.
And not a lot of non-locking knives have a feature like that. So this is a concept piece. This is something we're gonna see how people like it. We're gonna see what people would be interested in buying it, and we're gonna see if there even is any interest. So far, yes, there has been interest. People like the action. People like how this feels, how it plays, how you can sit there and just like do this, just mess around with it.
That's an intense fidget factor right there.
Watch TV, play with your knife. It's great. It's so fun.
But that is a really nice design.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's the Archeo. Yeah. It's a tried and true design for us. People love it, people enjoy it, people carry it. We're really happy about that. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. We're trying to put out new things this year, new ideas, new designers. And it may be a smaller selection of new products than it was last year, but we're pretty happy with what we've done.
Well, you're going from quantity to quality, so congratulations. I mean, this is going to be good.
You could also take into account the entire CJRB line hasn't been seen at SHOT Show before, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But
of course.
We're trucking onward. Artisan is doing good stuff, good work, and staying as consistently innovative as we can.
So we checked out some double detent knives. We checked out some non-locking knives. But one thing that Artisan Cutlery is actually doing is delving a little bit more into the exclusives territory, and I wanted to show this right now while we have a moment on camera. This is the small Archeo from Mallery. As you can see, the similarities between the non-locking version and this version. This one is actually exclusive to Smoky Mountain Knife Works. You can buy it from them. It should be available still in limited quantities. They have it in brass and in copper. This is actually the brass version. You have, I mean, just the same quality design that you would find on the folder. D2 steel, you know, steel liners, liner lock with that deep carry clip, and the brass or copper scales, and these are going for, I believe, between $49.99 and $59.99 right now at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. So check that out. This is actually my exclusive. just to show my support for Dylan and the RKO and some of his other designs like this double to 10 slip joint, which is going to be freaking awesome. So be sure to go ahead and check out Smoky Knife Works if you're interested in checking out something like this. So Russ, I know that there was a lot that you mentioned that you were going from basically quantity to quality, but there was still a lot over here that, I mean, we went through. I mean, between the prototypes, the double to 10s, the non-lockings, the strong locks, I mean, the new stuff. Thank you so much for going through, you know, the Artisan line. I mean, I can't wait to see what else the future has in store, although I already see that there is a lot coming. Yeah. So thank you so much, Russ.
Thank you for stopping by. This is great. I love seeing you here. This is so much fun to just show you all this stuff. And like, I'm excited to see what we're going to do too. I'm excited to see what people think about this stuff. And SHOT Show's a great place for us to showcase this because we have a variety of people who get to see things and give more feedback. It's not always going to be knife people. It's not always going to be like your usual Blade Show USN crowd. We get to see the industry people. We get to see the people who are running gun shops, the people who want to do, you know, different types of sales and seeing what their feedback is. And it's just been nice to get that, nice to wrap that up. But anyway, thank you for stopping by. Wonderful seeing you. And thanks for checking out Artisan stuff. Dude.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.